anyone do that anatomy question last night?
I did not.
I was watching like this Disney movie last night. It was really good.
But when was it?
It was Tangled. It's my favorite.
Oh, I've seen that one. That was sister.
In the society we are living in, one of the most popular institutions that influences young children is Disney. From movies like Mickey Mouse to Aladdin to Sleeping Beauty, everyone has either seen or is at least somewhat familiar with Disney. We view Disney as a family-friendly organization, one that does not stand for anything that could insult or hurt anyone. But if we really look deep enough, we would be shockingly surprised. It has been proven that young children begin to form long-term memory around the age of 5. Part of long-term memory involves storing information about the sequence of events during familiar situations that help children understand, interpret, and predict what will happen in future scenarios. And at this age, young children begin to watch Disney movies, where they now can understand and unravel what the message behind these movies really are. This is where the first impressions of gender roles, portrayal of love, and body image begins. Having said that, today we'll be discussing the negative impacts Disney has on young children.
So has anyone actually sat down and thought about the negative impacts that Disney has on kids?
Well, yeah, obviously the gender roles.
True.
I mean, there's different ones for males and females, but
I think for males, like, they primarily use, like, their physical means of, like, expressing themselves. They don't really, like, show their emotions.
yeah, they really don't show their emotions. I'm like, they're kind of taught not to show their emotions.
Yeah. And they have to be like the knight in shining armor who has to like put away the emotions and just kind of be the hero that saves the day.
Mm-hmm.
As for females, I think, like, the movies seem to value their appearance more so than, like, everything else. Like,
Yeah,
With their intelligence
Yeah.
and they're always the one that needs to be saved rather than doing the actual saving or like ruling the actual
And like their beauty's always displayed. Like women are supposed to be like these beautiful princesses. That's literally how it is like in every Disney movie I see.
Mm-hmm. And their like goal for every movie almost is like their goal to live happily ever after and like get their prince and like marry. Yeah.
And they have to kind of be the one to put away their dreams and things like that, as long as they're the pretty queen at the end of the day and yeah.
We're all talking about Cinderella here, are we?
Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty,
Yeah.
Snow White.
Majority of them, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Well, like I said earlier about like the whole marriage thing, with like that's all they aspire in like most of the movies. Like, do you not think that it has a negative impact on like love as well, like Disney movies?
For sure, yeah. I think there's like a common theme in like a lot of Disney movies where it's love at first sight, and the first time they see their prince, they have to get married. It's gonna be the perfect life for them, and yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Like, for example, like in Frozen, like Anna, like she just met Prince Hans or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They just met for the first time, and then they already sung about like getting married, and I was like, I don't know, true.
And also, like, there's this fear of these princesses being alone, as if
That's all they have.
Yeah, that's all they have, and the only aspiration in life is to get married, which is so unrealistic for little girls to watch, or little boys to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, also like the only marriage they also like show is like female-male marriage. Like I don't think there's ever been same-sex like relationships within a Disney movie. Even within Beauty and the Beast right now, like the new movie, there's like one of the characters is like a gay character, and like apparently it's been like blowing up.
I think I
About,
actually read something about
Yeah, it's been like blowing up everywhere. About there's a lot of people like controversial about it. Like I don't know. That's also.
And also, too, with Portrayal of Love, I find that in these movies, it kind of demonstrates that love is easy and there's no work to put into it.
Yeah, it's like instant.
It should be instant, and there's no factors that are taken into consideration. So, like, they don't care about, religion, money, time, any of those factors. Personal growth as an individual.
Not at all realistic.
No. So, like, Disney's entire narrative within their characters is to find happiness through romance.
Yeah, that's true. That kind of like ties in with how with romance comes how everyone has to kind of look, so their body image. So for females, what do you guys usually think is portrayed? I'm thinking like, you gotta look a little curvy, a little thin
waist, like bigger bust.
Yeah, that's kind of like Cinderella, really. Like That's like the first one we all kind of seen. I don't know what you guys, but
As a kid,
yeah, as a kid, you're like, oh, as a girl, like when I grow up, I'm gonna be like this height. I'm gonna have this thin waist.
I'm gonna wear these clothes,
exactly
like
that.
the
Yeah.
dress. Like a lot of kids nowadays, like they don't want to be dressed like that, but they feel as if they have to be kind of
Yeah.
thing, and they have to have like the long, pretty hair and like their makeup done. Like
Yeah. Even like in stores too, like I have a younger sister who if I take her to go and get like Disney, costume it's always, and she's really small to begin with, but the sizes are so small. So if there is, a younger girl who wasn't able to fit into it, like that would just bring her self-esteem down. And I think if Disney's trying to put that feeling on little girls, it's not fair to them at all.
they're so young too.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
even as a teenager, like
Yeah.
it builds on that, like from when they were young age.
Like their body's not good enough. They don't feel comfortable in their own skin, and that's not a good thing at all.
And like not only females, like males too.
Yeah.
I think they're portrayed as like built.
Yeah.
And, like,
They
There's
can't have a
something
feminine
strong,
side
yeah.
to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was doing research on one of these things, and it said that males portrayed in like the Disney movies, they show like very little like female characteristics, like
Yeah.
and they're all like always supposed to be like these big guys, and like with like younger boys looking at that, like
Yeah.
that kind of shapes them for like when they're older, and like gives a negative impact towards them as well.
Yeah. And it's harder for them too to talk about their sexual orientation as they get older because they're not relating to that same image that everyone thinks that they should be like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
It's like some examples would be like Prince Charming.
Yeah. Like the name in itself, Prince
Yeah.
Charming. If they're not charming, then they're not good enough, right?
Yeah.
Wow, guys, were we supposed to be studying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the time fly?
Whoops.
Wow. Okay, let's just quickly wrap this up. We did have a good discussion. Like,
Yeah.
we all kind of agreed that Disney does have a negative impact, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's just give our little ideas and inputs and conclude this, and then we could get back to studies.
So like the first one we kind of talked about, I feel, is with like gender roles, and like males are supposed to be seen as strong, independent, always like the ruler, kind of like in like the hero of the day, and then females are always seen as like weaker, like need saving kind of thing.
And like same thing with like Portrayal of Love. Like there's that again idea of love at first sight, which is really unrealistic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Like their main aspiration, happily ever after
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And like the last thing was body image, and that the appearance is more valued than everything else. For example, like intelligence. And they have like very unrealistic representations for like females and
Yeah, that like will shape them for
Sure.
They get
Since
older,
they're little, yeah.
Right, yeah. And I guess like the only thing that we can kind of think of to kind of improve this would be to have at least like diverse characters, that kids can relate to, and that they don't have to have these high expectations that they're always trying to reach. So Disney can try to do that at
give
least,
like everyone someone to like relate to in a
Yeah,
positive way rather than a negative way.
And
Yeah.
they also have like unconventional roles, so that like males don't have to have like specific roles or like no stereotypes basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full of that.
I would think too for Disney if they can like deliver the message of getting over these stereotypes while providing a wonderful show for little kids, and they're learning at the same time and enjoying something out of it.
Yeah.
If they start doing that, I might start watching too. Okay, guys, let's get back to studying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yo, you got so much stuff. Thing went off, bro.
I know, it's so
Yeah, so has anyone ever sat down and actually thought about the negative impact that Disney has on kids?